Should be good, right? Can you hear me now? Yes, no, maybe so. Still no? No mic? Okay, all good. All right. Just give me a sec. I have to ask Brett one question and then we'll get it going today. So, stay tuned for 1 second. All right. All right, we're back. We're back. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all good. Hope you had a good weekend, good Monday. It's hotter than hell in here, so I had to fix that. All right, we're gonna get into it today. Obviously, I had no show Sunday or Monday, so there's a lot to catch up on. Even though we did Saturday at night, so it's really just 2 days. And not everybody played yesterday, so there's plenty of stuff to catch up on. Hope you guys are good. We'll probably watch McLean again. Yeah, probably Dollander. Sorry, Mets fans, for that one. And then a lot of the stuff from last night. So we'll get going. Here. All right, first things first. Let's get into the internet here. You can tell I haven't been on my iPad since the Rangers game the other day. Way too much going on. I mean, not Rangers game, Royals game that I was at. All right, let's do standings and then we'll get popping. All right, American League East. Yankees 19-10, 1.5 up on the Rays. They are 9-1 in their last 10, the Yankees. Red Sox are in last, although they have won 3 in a row, two of which since the massacre of the coaching staff. So they're 12-17. They play in Toronto again tonight. Jays are only half a game ahead of them at 12-16. So it's a 7-game spread between first and last place in the AL East. AL Central, Detroit half game up on Cleveland. Kansas City, who's all of a sudden starting to show signs. They just swept the Angels. And they open up a series against the A's tonight in Sacramento. They're 11-17 and last only 3.5 back, so that's a small spread. AL West, the A's, first place, 15-13, but with a negative run differential. That's notable. They're a game and a half up on the Rangers. Houston is in last in this division, 4.5 back, 11-17. We know about their injury issues. In the NL East, Atlanta, 20-9. They're tied for the best record in baseball with the Dodgers, 20-9. Mets and Phillies are tied for last. Both teams have been really a tough watch so far this year, unfortunately. Phillies have the worst run differential at -54. But the good news is, as bad as it is, it's 10.5. I've seen 10 games get swapped out in September before. So there's plenty of time left. Obviously, neither team is showing signs yet. But that's the situation in the NL East. It's crazy. Every team's under 500 except for Atlanta there. The Nationals play the Mets now, and the Phillies are playing the Giants, it looks like. All right, NL Central, the Reds 18-10, hanging in there, top of the division, 1.5 up on the Cubs. This is also a very small spread as the Brewers are in last place, but they're a game over 500 and only 3.5 back. Dodgers in the West, 20-9, half game up on the Padres, 19-9. Dodgers now have the best run differential in baseball at +68. And the Rockies are in last place, 13-16, but they just swept the Mets. They're only -11 run differential right now and 7 back. So that's where we are starting today with that situation. And let me get in the chat, see what you guys are looking for today, and then we'll get going. I know we had a serious mute situation there. Sorry about that. Schlittler and DeGrom tonight. That's outstanding little matchup there. I didn't watch McLean start because I didn't have a show yesterday, but we can go through that. Definitely Ranger Suarez. Sorry, Blue Jays fans. He carved last night. He was very impressive. 8 innings, I believe. What else we got? Fried rice in Texas. Yep, definitely going to talk some Yankees. Judge had a great game. Rice had a great game. Jazz with another homer. Max Fried carries on. I did like J.R. Ritchie's debut last week. I have a whole video up on my channel on it. I think it was a good move, moving Ronaldo Lopez to the bullpen temporarily. He's got experience out there. I think Ritchie showed that he can compete at this level. I mean, they only put one righty in the lineup against him. Then righty should be his strength. So he faced a lineup designed to beat him in his debut, and he pitched quite well. 7 innings. Yep. Sorry, Jane. Oh, yep. And Matsy pitched well yesterday for the Rays. That's true. This is another one that I'm very excited about. Tolley and Savage. That should be a cool game. We got Mune, and all of that. All right. I also wanted to give a quick shout out. Maybe we'll just do this right off the rip before we get too into the weeds. But I want to give a shout out real quick to Olivia Pichardo becoming the first woman to pitch in a Division I baseball game, as she closed out this game between Brown and Cornell yesterday, a couple days back. So I just wanted to give her a little shout out. I got to get to the 9th. She pitched at the very end of this game. Where are you? Pretty cool, though, playing D1 baseball as a girl. You just don't see it, or we haven't seen it to this point, but she did get in there. And so here she is, trying to get this last out. So they only gave her 1 out to get, huh? In a huge blowout win. But she did get out there, so this was a big moment. She broke a barrier here. I wonder what she's featuring. Changeup? Sinker? Anyway, she gets the final out there. Very cool. This is the play one more time. And I don't know, breaking barriers. Being a pioneer, I think that's awesome. So we should recognize that. I think that's great. And just really freaking cool, you know? It might not be everybody's vision, you know? Some girls would rather play softball, but, you know, each to their own. She wants to play baseball, so she gets a chance to. I guess this is it. This is a fastball at 82 miles an hour, so. Rolls over, who's this guy? Tyler Bolo. And she makes the play, so very, very cool. Also interesting in the background, Atanasio Family Field. Who knew that? Atanasio, he is the owner of the Brewers. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know he went to Brown or whatever, Mark Atanasio. But just wanted to give that shout out real quick. I wish there was more to break down. But either way, I just want to give a shout out because that's pretty damn cool. All right. What should we start with? I think we should start with the Red Sox. We've been watching a lot of Red Sox lately. Obviously, you know, with the firing and the retooling of everything. But it's also coincided with some pretty decent performances. They've won the last 3 games. The other day we watched Tolley pitch in his debut. And now we're going to watch Ranger Suarez. 8 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts, 105 pitches versus the Jays. Not an easy feat going up against the Jays. Now, I know they haven't been exactly tearing the cover off the ball, but this team puts the ball in play. You know, 10 strikeouts is hard to get against them, especially at their ballpark. And he accomplished that feat. So let's see what Ranger was featuring. 28 sinkers, 27 four-seamers, 25 cutters. So it's another guy kind of underrated, throws the 3 fastball shapes. 15 curves and 10 changeups, 30% whiff, got 45% whiff on that curveball. Velocity averaged 90 on the sinker, 91 on the four seam, so that's kind of where we expected, and that's fine. He can pitch with that. He just can't afford to lose much more. Interesting, though, he dominated with only 56% first pitch strikes. I think that's a little strange. So let's get into this game. Where is my dugout app? Okay, there it is. Sox and Jays, and we'll also take a look at Cease during this game as well, just to see kind of where it went wrong for him. But we're going to start with the good stuff, and that's Ranger Suarez. So we'll just watch the result pitches. First batter, Miles Straw, going to take him out with a accidental up and away cutter. Gets the swing under. You see this a lot. Obviously, it's not where he wants it. But there are some happy accidents at the top of the zone with cutters. Seems like Suarez cutter made some batters, Vlad, Sosa, look bad on put-away pitches. All right, we're going to see here.
Yeah, 3 years ago was released by the then Oakland Athletics.
So that was also an out on a cutter. So first 2 outs on a cutter. Third one's going to be on a changeup here to Vlad with the strikeout. Oh, and he gives him the nod. So you know what? Gives him the nod. Let's watch the whole at-bat versus Vlad. First pitch sinker away, called strike. Doesn't challenge. Second pitch curveball. Out front on that. Caps that foul. Then to the changeup. Good takedown. Try to go for the low freeze. Nope, they're going for the up in. Notice how his misses are good misses. Target up in. Let me just show this. Target up in. He doesn't miss over the plate, right? Where's he miss? He misses in a place that can't hurt him, and it kind of backs Vlad a little bit from the dive, and then he drops the changeup on him. So using your misses to your advantage. Great job there by Ranger, and that's the first inning. All right, second inning, cutter to Oko. Ooh, pretty good pitch to hit, but he's under that. Hits that sky high. It's got to be 50 degrees, 61 degrees out to Willier. One out in the second. Changeup coming here to Sosa.
On April, I guess it was 25th. It was Saturday night when this happened.
Pops it up. Abreu's down the line real quick. Just they're showing the new Red Sox, brain trust here. Obviously, Bailey's been there the whole time, but Chad Tracy, you guys should get to know him. His dad was my manager with the Rockies. He's a guy I competed against a long time. Obviously inherits, it's a weird way to become manager for the first time, but just want to wish him nothing but the best. Good dude, and hopefully he can, get the Sox playing good ball. All right, 1-2 count. Ooh, Eloy Jimenez. He's going to paint him away with the fastball. No challenge. That was off the corner. That's a nice catch by Narvaez, huh? Let's look at Narvaez's catch on this. Yeah, he sold that really nicely. It's crazy the moves they do. Like, he brings it, to up in the zone. So the umpire doesn't get a very long time to think about it. Nice pitch. All right, on to the third inning. And it is the red-hot Jesus Sanchez, and he gets him on a 3-pitch strikeout. Let's watch how he dissects him here. We'll watch the whole at-bat. First pitch, 4-seam. Fouled off. It's a different Chad Tracy. The Chad Tracy you're thinking of played in the big leagues. This Chad Tracy, if he did, it was brief, and it would have been with the Rangers or Rockies. He was a first baseman, but I played against him in AAA and stuff, but he's just a different Chad Tracy. So nice curveball there. All right, 3-2. Here's the one walk of the game. It's Schneider. So man on first, 1 out. That gets you back to Heineman in the 9-hole. And he's going to get what he wanted, which is the double play ball. Story to Marcelo, over to Contreras, and they're out of the third. On to the fourth. Top of the order again. Miles Straw, curveball. Decent contact, but right at Duran. 1 out there. Now a first pitch out on a curveball to Ernie. Ernie loves to swing at those first pitches. I like the slow down approach to Ernie. This is something that Yamamoto did a good job with him last year. Ernie, we all know, wants to be on time for the fastball, but when you slow him down with the super slow, it doesn't stop him from swinging a lot. Normally, if you're this off timing, you're not going to just swing 0-0. But I feel like Ernie can't help himself but swing. And so that's why I like the super slow breaking ball to Ernie Clement. All right, fly ball there. Here comes Vlad. Ooh, 3-pitch strikeouts. Let's watch that again as he punched Vlad the first 2 times. First time with a changeup. All right, sinker up away. Cutter. Dotted, challenged, incorrect. Should have challenged the pitch before it. So now 0-2, and then is he going to get him with a changeup again? No, he's going to get him with cutter. Let's see the location. Yep, gets that up and away swing through. And that's domination right there. Not a pitch he wants to swing at. You see, he kind of emergency hacks because he's worried about that being a strike. Swings super late on that. And I'll see you later. Yeah, this Chad Tracy played, but his career ended in AAA. Yeah, I faced him a lot in the minors. He was, I think he was with the Rockies mostly, which is kind of funny because I ended up on the Rockies. And his dad was the manager of the Rockies. Ground ball to third. Heck of a play here by, who's this, Durbin?
Great stop at third.
Yeah, nice play by Durbin. Double bounce throw over to Contreras. Nice play there. All right, 1 out in the 5th, and Sosa. Notice the location on these cutters. He really gets them at the top of the zone. So his happy accidents are to the arm side, and the ones that he throws where he wants to are to the glove side up in, and then the hitter just can't do much, kind of jammed. All you can do is pop that up, 80 miles an hour off the bat. That's not doing much. Can of corn, and that's 2 outs in the 5th. It's funny, when you watch Ranger, he makes it look so easy because he's not throwing very hard. It just shows you the power of command and understanding of reading swings. But so it's awesome when he deals like this. This is another one of those backdoor up cutters. We've seen a lot of guys struggle with that pitch already in this game. All right, 6th inning. This is the one hit. That's the one hit. Wow. What a crappy hit by Sanchez. Totally beat by that sinker. Hits that ball 83 on the ground the other way. Yeah, Jim Tracy. That was my first manager in Colorado. Really liked him a lot. And then they told him that he wasn't going to be able to make the lineup anymore. So he basically quit that offseason, and then we brought in Walt. All right, curveball here. Oh, my bad. All right, he's going to punch out Schneider on a curveball. So man on second, no outs. And then he works through that. Nice curveball there to Schneider. Uses his aggression against him. This was probably the Jays' best chance to get back in this. If he takes this pitch, you got 2 on, no out. And you can start working on some things. But instead, Ranger bears down, gets the punchy there. He's going to get another punchy here with a curveball to Heineman. See you later. And then back to the top of the order, and Miles Straw with the changeup.
Here's the 2 on to Straw.
Yeah, Jim Tracy, former Dodger manager as well. Jim Tracy's good people, man. So, you know, it's not like, I know he's got no managerial experience at the big league level. He's been managing AAA, but he knows what it's all about, Chad Tracy. All right, 7th inning. Ernie again, and another slow curveball. And another one of those reach and pop-up swings from Ernie. Pops it out to Narvi, and 1 out in the 7th. Second out's going to be Vlad. Remember, he struck him out twice, once on a changeup, once on a cutter. Here's another cutter. This one was actually a pretty good pitch to hit. I feel like he kind of overswings on it and pops it up. Wow, just misjudges it a hair and gets under that, huh? All right, so he's out. That's 2 outs in the 7th, and then he's going to get Okamoto out, also with the cutter. Jams him again. Doesn't quite get that. 91.3 for another 1-2-3 inning, and then he caps his outing off here in the 8th. First, it's a strikeout of Sosa with the sinker. Oh, perfect location. I mean, that's just perfection. Just a full tie-up. God, he just paints, man. He just literally paints. I was asking Nola about him during the WBC, and he's like, man, you know, I tell you what, the command is like the best he's ever played with, so not surprised. I saw they've been calling them the Chad Sox so far, so, you know, this is why sometimes, like, you do make the early move. Like, I don't agree with the move. You know, I like Alex, but I'm on Team Cora, but sometimes you do make an early move, and it does, there's plenty of time, and the culture does change, and everybody kind of, some of the tension gets let out because the move's already been made, and then things happen. This is a freaking dandy of a pitch here to Sanchez. Can we watch this? This is his last at-bat of the night. He could have went CG in this one, but anyway, let's watch this whole last at-bat of the night versus Jesus. All right, so sinker down, sinker coming again. Just want to see how he sets him up for that freeze. All right, 2-0. Sinker again. That's middle in. Kind of beats him. Do they go in again here? Yeah, so in was the key. Speeds him up, and then this pitch looks away, and he runs it right back to the corner for an absolute perfect painted heater. You can't throw it better than that. Look at that. Dotted. So, dirty outing from Ranger. He's kind of starting to pick it up. He's starting to definitely pick it up. He, you know, started off a little bit slow, but, man, he's one of my favorite guys to watch just because of how easy he makes it look, you know? So now he's at a 309 through 6 starts, 35 innings with a .94 whip. Between Crochet, who's definitely on the path to bouncing back, Connolly Early, who's outstanding, Ranger Suarez, who's really good. They'll get Sonny back. I don't know what they're going to do about Bayo. They have a little bit of a Bayo problem. Peyton Tolley's been looking good. I actually really think, to me, there's a roadmap for this team getting back into contention. And it does start with that starting pitching. It's a very good group of starting pitching. And then I think, they have to pick it up offensively. That's the big questions with the Red Sox still. It's just like offensively, how many guys can they get going to actually make a little bit of a dent in the fact that they have no home runs. They're gonna need some all-around production from more than a few guys in this lineup. Like at current moment, as you can see here, it's just Contreras and Abreu that are in red and ex-Woba, which is good. Roman's neutral. I expect that to go up. I have no worry about those three guys. I'd like to see Duran get going. For sure, he's a big one for me. Marcelo is probably going to get more playing time now. I'm a little worried about Story. I'm not seeing a lot of great swings out of Story from what I've seen, but if they can get just two more guys going, pop some more homers, there's a roadmap to contention here, as bad as it looked early because of that pitching, led by Ranger Suarez. Red Sox have a nice group coming together in their rotation. I think they're back in it by summer. Where do the Sox rank defensively? Good question. Let's see. Fielding run value. Fielder's team. All right, so defensively, Red Sox are third best right now in fielding run value on the season. So that's a good place to be, especially when you have good pitching. So they actually have two of the three parts of the equation pretty well figured out. Pitching and defense, those are two really good things. I think they're also a pretty good base running team. And I think, Chad Tracy's already talked about being more aggressive with the athletes they have. So I'm a little confident that they can actually kind of get back into this thing. I know it's been ugly there early, but I'm more confident about the Red Sox chances than the Phillies or the Mets at the moment. Fielding run value. So it's all about the hitting. This is where a big bat would have really helped if they had it in there. That's my number one concern. It's just the lack of power with them. All right, on the other side of this game was Dylan Cease, who we've been tracking, obviously, almost every start this year. 34 sliders, 31 fastballs, 20 changeups, 11 sinkers, 7 knuckle curves, 4 sweepers. So he did lean in on some of his newer pitches in this game, which is something that we've been begging for him to do, even though he took the L in this one. 20 changeups, 11 sinkers. That's pretty good, as well as another 11 knuckle curves and sweepers combined. So he didn't just lean on slider fastball in this game. Let's see. Let's look at zone rates. Zone rates on his pitches. So he was 38% zone on slider, 52 on fastball. I think ultimately he just wasn't in the zone that much. And I think that hurt him a little bit in this one. All right. What was the line score on this? Like, when did all the runs happen? So they chipped away at him. They got 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th off of Dylan. So let's just go right back to the game and take a peek at what happened here to Dylan Cease. I think there was some fielding issues, right? I'm actually going to go through his whole outing, just like we did with Ranger. All right, first batter of the game is Jarren Duran, 4-seam down. Cease started acting squirrely with guys on base and lost his mechanics. Cubs kind of lost the zone in the 4th or 5th. All right, so first, Cease lost in the 4th or 5th. Cease, line out, first batter. Here's Contreras. That's a ground out. Nice play there. And then a strikeout of Roman on a slider to end the first inning. So very solid first inning for Dylan. Second inning, we got an out on a changeup to Willier. I like it. I like it. Nice pitch. Very nice pitch. All right, one out there, and he's going to punch out Trevor. Doors. Man, on a fastball down. He shouldn't be missing that. That's a pitch he can hit a little bit. Yeah, Trevor's swing looks a little not right to me right now. All right, strikeout there, and then here comes a hit from Marcelo Meyer. Almost 100-mile-an-hour fastball here, and he pulls that down the line. That's going to be a double. Nope, a single because of a good job by Sosa to go get that ball. And then a 3-pitch strikeout of Rafaela with a slider here. Sorry, but the panic knee-jerk moves are getting old. Yeah, I told you I didn't want it. I wanted Alex to stay. I believe in Alex as a manager. I don't think he's the issue here. But I'm just saying, give them a chance. There's a lot of season left. We got a new manager. There's new vibes, and we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's not that this team is not talented. They're very talented. Nice slider there. It's just a matter of can they dig out, you know, and can they find more offensive production, which I think is their biggest issue. All right, Durbin gets out. So he did look pretty good here in the early going, huh? Here's a changeup to strike out Duran. That's a really nice pitch. And through 3, no runs have scored. All right, to the 4th. And Contreras is going to get the party started with a 2-2 hit on a fastball above the zone. That's just a good swing. I mean, that pitch is up above the zone at 99. Contreras doing his bully thing where he's up on the plate again. Man, how did he do that? How do you cover this pitch? Oh, there's a choke-up factor maybe? Nope, no choke-up, but he gets on top of that. That's just impressive. All right, base hit there. Next up, here is Roman.
1-2 the count on Roman Anthony. This is line to left.
Another pretty decent swing on a high pitch, but it gets the fly out to Schneider. Contreras retreats to first. All right, next batter is the walk. So he ends up walking Abreu. What was the scenario? Did he get ahead of him here? So he was 1-2. How does he lose him from 1-2? Let's see. Slider down, good take, but that was a bit non-competitive. Another slider attempt down, this time another take. Can't get him to bite, and then he loses him with the fastball up. So good job not biting on those 2 sliders with Abreu is what earns him the walk there. All right, next batter, in play outs to Story.
This is popped up.
Infield pop-up, so that's not going to do the trick. So first and second, 2 outs. Probably a 2-out knock here. Yep, 2-out knock coming from Meyer. First pitch, second pitch slider. Ooh, beautiful swing. Hammers that up the middle. That's just a hanger in the middle of the plate. Did exactly what he's supposed to do with it. Hammers this ball up the middle. So 2 hits off of Cease in the first 2 at-bats for Marcelo. This is what you got to do with this pitch. It's just a spinner right down the middle. Wham. So that's how they get their first run. And then that's it for the 4th inning as Rafaela gets out here on a slider. I think he has some fielding troubles in the 5th, right? All right, here's the 5th. He's going to get a first pitch out to Narvi. Ooh, weird spin on that. Nice play by Sosa. Good stretch by Vlad. Vlad's stretch is very underrated if you don't watch the Jays. And then a 4-pitch walk to Durbin. So this is kind of where he loses it. Let's see how bad all these pitches are if he's close. Sort of close there, up and away. That's a really bad miss. Looks like it's the mound. Then he goes 2-0 sinker, and he misses, so he's mad about that. He wanted to challenge that. That's not even close. Look at that. My goodness. So 4-pitch walk. Then he's going to get Jarren Duran on a changeup, which he threw earlier.
Grounded to second. Sosa.
Did he get a double play on this? No, too fast. So man on first, 1 out, and a hit by pitch. Did he have count leverage in this? No, he fell behind 3-1. And then he's going to hit Contreras. It's amazing how Contreras gets hit, though, by pitches that are not that far off the plate. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, he'd hit him, whatever. But that's not that far off the plate, right? Like, that's not that far off the plate. All right, so 2 on, 1 out. And that brings up a 3-1 count to Roman Anthony. So he just got himself into some bad counts. There was a little bit of self-sabotage here. And then, my God, what was that? Just stumbles coming off the mound and does a roll. We're gonna have to watch this from every angle. The turf monster got him. Oh, the dirt monster got him, and then he tried to swat at it. We're gonna have a few angles to watch. Let's watch it from this one first. Oh my God. Dude, what happened here? Oh, so he was already in trouble there because his initial plant foot kind of didn't catch right, and then he's in the trip zone. Trip, 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 roll. Still tries to make a play on the ball, which you got to respect with the bare hand, but whiffs it. And that leads to the run scoring. We'll watch that one more time on the broadcast so I can see exactly what happened here. Man, that sucks. He had 2 outs in this inning. That keeps the inning going. Dang, so it really wasn't his pitching there, it was his defense, but he obviously got himself in trouble with the walk and the hit by pitch, and then here's a 1-1 changeup to Abreu that's going to be a hit. Well, just hangs the changeup. That's the one thing you can't do, but that's in Sanchez's glove and out of his glove. So a little bit of misfortune here for Cease, no doubt about it. As 2 runs come across the plate in the 5th, he'll get Story out to end this inning. Man, good pitch to hit, too. Story's missing some good pitches to hit. Yeah, I'm glad he isn't injured. His body went one way and his feet stayed back. All right, and then here's the 6th, another leadoff walk. So, yeah, this has been the issue with Cease at times in the past, too. Besides being predictable, just occasionally loses the zone. Let's watch each of these 2 strike attempts here to see where he missed here. Started with a changeup, that's down, and then he pulls the fastball. So a little bit of self-sabotage with a couple walks and a hit batter over the last 2 innings, and then the one play that, you know, it's just kind of he got the dirt monster got him. Cedon goes down and gets a sweeper. So 2 on, no out. Here's Narvaez. That's going to be a double play. I like that he's been able to get some grounders when he needs them. But then Durbin's going to come up with an 0-2 hit for the 4th run to come in off Cease. Oh, man, just a little bleeder into left. I got to think Bobby Witt Jr. would have caught that from shortstop. But Ernie can't get there. Man, where's this location? Good swing by Durbin. Good compete by Durbin. I guess this is the thing is he just doesn't get it quite enough away. Taps it in there, and that's it for Cease, and that's the 4th run. So I don't think he pitched bad. He just got himself in trouble with some basics, and then, you know, he would have given up no runs in that inning regardless if he didn't trip on the mound there. So I don't really have a problem with how Cease threw the rock yesterday. I actually like his pitch mix. Just didn't quite, just wasn't perfect. And sometimes, you know, you open the door a little bit and they come through. So I think he really deserved to give up 1 or 2 runs in his start. Ends up giving 4. Takes the L because Ranger was insane on the other side. So that's it for that game. Is Ponce even coming back? It's going to be a while. Probably next season. I don't think he's coming back this season. Yeah. Yeah, next year. Is Jimenez hurt? I don't know. He didn't play yesterday. Who's Ponce's brother-in-law? Contreras has an elbow guard and knows how to use it. It's a skill. It's a skill. Oh, there was also an error on a pickoff attempt. So he did hurt himself a little bit for sure. 100%. George Kittle. Of tight end. That's his brother-in-law? Like his sister married George Kittle? Or his wife's brother is George Kittle? Yeah, that's crazy. All right, yeah, let's head over here. The streak ended, so Mason did not pass me on the all-time list of consecutive appearances without a run. I was rooting for him. I didn't have a problem with it. JD Bunkus was like, oh, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for him to give up a run. I'm like, dude, like I'm not even at the top of the leaderboard. It doesn't really matter. So anyway, he did finally give up 2 runs. So now he's at a 1.26 ERA. And I don't know. Let's see what happened. I don't know what happened. He did get a strikeout. Didn't walk anybody. He gave up 3 hits. Hard to imagine him giving up 3 hits in an inning. But apparently it happened. And if it's going to happen, you would think it would be against the Cubs. The Cubs have been incredible so far on offense. So it's going to be very, very interesting. See, Miller not built like me, apparently. All right, Cubs, Padres. I thought he was going to obliterate it, honestly. I thought he was going to pitch like 50 games in a row, no runs. But it shows you how hard it is to have a season like, you know, Fernando Rodney had, or Blake Trinan had that 1 year, or Zach Britton had, where they were like sub-1 ERA for the season. Like, think about how much good has to happen for you. Like, way too much good has to happen for you. So, it's wild. All right, here we go. Mason Miller. Let's see what happens in this inning. First batter is is Matt Shaw. I saw this already. Is this ball fair or foul? We don't have a good angle to see it. But it would be some shit like this that starts the rally.
It's a fair ball.
Ty disagrees. What do we got? I mean, you can see that part of the ball's over the line, but is it touching the line? I think if you had a better view, it would have been foul, right? Was this foul? Cody's married to George's sister, Emma. Got it. So it was absolutely foul, right? See, from this angle, to me, it looks fair, but I've seen a lot of articles saying that it was definitely foul. Like, once they had the better view of it, they knew it was foul. What I don't get is the umpire's right there. How do you not see it, sir? I mean, look at his positioning. He's right there. So he's glued in on it. At the end of the day, this is a judgment call. It's not reviewable because it's in front of the base. And Mason Miller's one bad outing had to start in some ludicrous way. Dad's chiming in. If any part of the ball is over any part of the line, it is fair. So that's a fair ball. It looked to me like part of the ball was over the line, even if it's not touching the line. To me, it looked like it was over the line. So my dad's saying it's fair. We have some arguments here about it. We have some confusion. Ty should have picked it up with more confidence. See, he didn't sell it. Good call, Josh. I don't know. Pretty close. That's what they wrote. That's the rule. All right. So that's the first batter. Second batter. 2-2 count to Dansby, 102 mile-an-hour fastball. And he beats him to it and lines it into left. Not a lot of guys beating Mason to 102 mile-an-hour fastball. Great swing by Dansby. Where's the location of this pitch? You couldn't design a better pitch. I know it's not what he's trying to do, but up in to get out in front of 102 is insane. Man, quick hands, kid. Quick hands from Dansby. So first and second, no outs. And PCA hits a slider through the hole. So a couple of ground balls. Well, the infield hit and then that hit. And now we have bases loaded, no outs. So the streak was immediately in super jeopardy. Man, all he had to do is throw this thing in the dirt, huh? But he doesn't quite get it there. And PCA knows what to do with it, grounds it through. So bases chucked. In-play runs coming here with Nico. It's going to be a double play ball, but they're not going to be able to turn two for sure. So a fielder's choice scores the first run. The streak comes to an end. And then Michael Bush.
On the ground towards first base. Sheets will take it alone. That's 2 outs in the 9th inning.
How'd the second run score? Is there a wild pitch here? Let's see. I think there's a wild pitch here or something, huh? Yep, there it is. Just a wild pitch scores the second run. So it's a wild pitch, and it's a fielder's choice that breaks the streak. So it just shows you, like, you know, it can happen. And then he's able to get Bush out, and then he does strike out Bregman to end the game. So Padres still win it. That's filthy. But they were able to, you know, scratch 2 runs across. Obviously, they had a little bit of batted ball luck there with that ground ball. But Mason Miller, man, as good as he is, he's not breaking my record. Well, even though it's not my record, he's not breaking the record. 1.26 is where he stands now. His numbers are still pretty decent. 28 strikeouts and 14 1/3. So he's fine. He's fine. All right, let's see what we got in the chat. Would you rather have a sub-2 ERA or a sub-1 WHIP? I think I'd rather have the sub-2 ERA, but I love a great WHIP. Like, I had the sub-1 WHIP in 2022, and I was super proud of that. Didn't have the sub-1 ERA, but I was super proud of that WHIP. But there's something nice about being under 2 with your ERA. I only did that one time. Yeah, you know, you have a lot of good days when you're not giving up runs. A lot of good nights, you know, driving home from the ballpark, I'll tell you that. You knew Nico was getting to put the ball in play. We should tell the Mets that. They didn't seem to know that a couple weeks ago. Yep, Dansby's wife is a pro player for the Chicago Stars. What's her name again? Mallory Pugh. I think she's Mallory Swanson now, but Mallory Pugh. I think she's a Team USA player too. I think she scored the big goal in the Women's World Cup or in the Olympics, so she's big time. Dansby has been lights out the past 2 weeks, and the fact that he's in the 9 spot, it's like how Atlanta would use Harris in the 9, so the top of the guys have to knock guys in. Let's investigate that for a second. Dansby Swanson, what's his season looking like so far? All right, so he's up to 69th percentile in xWOBA. He's got a tremendous on-base percentage for him, 339. That's 20 points above his career average on base, which is 319. He's got 16.5% walk percentage. That's huge if you're going to hit at the bottom of the order and then flip and then get on base to flip it to the other side. 87% chase, that's a big key. That's a big driver of this. He's spitting on balls. So doing a lot right. I'm a little surprised to see that his defense is like basically neutral, but that'll flip at some point. He's too good. So what was the deal last year? Last year wasn't getting the walks at the same rate. So, okay. So off to a good start with that. And it does look like they use him down in the order. Him and PCA are 8 and 9. That's what a luxury you have when you have two long-term extension contract guys batting 8 and 9. Basically, their job is to get on and wreak havoc in front of the top of the order: Horner, Bush, Bregman, Happ, Seiya. So that's a big luxury to be able to put Dansby down near the bottom. Now, they do need to get PCA going a little bit more. His on base is really bad. Yeah, he's got 305 on base. He needs to be better than that. It all comes down to chase rate. But yeah, good for Dansby getting going. I've always been a big fan of him as a player. I know that hasn't been amazing with the bat since being in Chicago, but looks like things are trending up this year. Bat speed still low, but a little better than last year. Squaring up balls at a much higher rate. That's a good thing. And this is the best walk percentage he's ever had. So getting his walks, that's key. And other than that, he looks like kind of the same player for the most part. All right, good job, Dansby. All right, let me get back in the chat here, and then we'll go look at some other stuff. I think Suarez's whip is 1. Yeah, I mean, I love a low whip. It's hard to be bad with a low whip. That just means you don't have a lot of traffic. Always wondered, do players keep politics out of the clubhouse, ever see forms? For the most part, they're out, but there's some people that are pretty outspoken, and they like to just run their mouth on about a whole bunch of stuff. And some places it flies, some places it doesn't, but not usually any riffs over it. I haven't personally seen any riffs over it. Although I will say in the COVID times, it got a little dicey, but no riffs, I wouldn't say. Nobody actually mad at each other. Mason Miller holds the record for most red in Savant. Swings outside the zone or down. That's the big thing. Yeah, I want to do a dive on Moises Ballesteros at some point too. But today's not that day. But he has been absolutely raking for the Cubs. All right, so that's it. We took a quick peek at Mason Miller getting clipped there. Dansby had the real solid hit in that inning, so then we got to take a peek at what he looks like so far. He's off to a better start. I know he's only hitting 206, but a lot of the underlying numbers are showing me he could be an 800 OPS guy this year. That's definitely possible. All right, let's transition over to the Yankee game last night. Yankees and Rangers. It was Jack Leiter and Maximus Fried. This guy, all he does is go out there and give up nothing every time, pretty much. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 89 pitches for Max, 2.09. Also, home runs in this game out of Ben Rice, Judge, and Jazz Chisholm, who is starting to heat up as well. He's got a long way to go, as we know, but he did homer again yesterday. That's 3 recently, and that's a good sign. Looks like Jack Leiter posted a solid start here. It's just the 3 long balls, which I think is going to be a little bit of his bugaboo with the fastball. Ooh, did this just happen? Phillies fire Thomson? That just happened? Well, don't see it on here yet, but Carl's on it. Mattingly replacement. I don't see anything yet because it's not even an article yet. But I know that it seems like it's real from Gelb. The Phillies have fired manager Rob Thomson. Sources told The Athletic. Don Mattingly will be the interim manager. Wow. Crazy. So now Mattingly's son is assistant GM, or maybe even GM of the Phillies, below the presidents, Dave Dombrowski, and I think Sam Folds still involved. And then so that's Preston Mattingly, and then the manager's Donnie Baseball. Wow, Donnie Baseball, manager of the freaking Phillies. Crazy. Posted it in the Discord. Yeah, there it is. Phillies have fired manager Rob Thomson. Sources told The Athletic Don Mattingly be interim manager. Holy cow. Holy cow. So that's 2 managers fired in April this year from 2 of the 3 big Northeast baseball towns. Phillies and Red Sox both fired their manager in a span of 4 days. Wow. I'm kind of shocked by that. I was just about to look at Yankee stuff, but now we have to take a detour into the Phillies situation. I mean, obviously they're in a bad spot. Like at the moment, the Phillies are 9-19 with a negative 54 run differential, which is the worst in baseball. So they've been the worst team in baseball to date. The worst team in baseball to date. Let's look at some of what's going on individually with Phillies players. All right, here's the pitching. I mean, it's crazy. They've gotten pretty good expected pitching out of everybody except for Nola, Banks, and Taiwan, who already got released. So it doesn't look like it's been the pitching, although a lot of these real ERAs don't match the expected, which makes me think they might be a butcher team on defense a little bit, which we'll check in a second. I mean, you see a lot of bad differentials. Almost all of it is plus on this side, right? Plus 70, I mean, every single time. So they're not getting what they need to get out of these pitchers, despite the way that they seem to be throwing. And then in the batting situation, this is really surprising because this team's got some offense. Harper, Schwarber, and Marsh, and even Marsh is a little bit getting blue. That's it. After that, it's been bad. Stott, Adolis has not been very good since getting there. We were hoping for better out of him. JT, Trey's been kind of weak. 230 average is not him. Crawford, I mean, I like a lot of what he brings to the table, but it's tailed off a lot. Recently, he does have a 301 WOBA, which is a lot better than, Stott, for example. And then Bohm's been really bad. And I know the Phillies fans are probably tired of him at this point, but I was hoping he would step up this year. He needed a breakout year, and now he's got the lowest xWOBA on the team. So, yikes. Fielding run value. Where are the Phillies in terms of defense? They got to be low, right? Where am I? Am I missing it? They're 19th in fielding run value. -2. It's a lack of range. Where they're helped is from their catching runs. They have 5 catching runs. So their defense has been really bad out in the field. They're doing okay catching. JT's doing a good job framing. The combination of JT and their other catcher, who I can't think of right now. I know it's not Stubbs. It's a guy I've faced too. I don't know why I can't think of it. Anyway, other than that, they're bad. If you just look at infield, outfield runs, they are 25th. 25th in terms of defense. Holy cow, the Tigers have been bad. Tigers, Mariners, Angels, Rays, Orioles are the only teams worse than them. So that's important. Donnie Baseball will look to clean that up, and we'll kind of see. Yeah, it's Marchand. Marchand, my bad. Yeah. Holy cow. April, what are we going to do? This is like never happened, I feel like. Don't you think? I mean, this is nuts. This is so nuts. We'll see if the Mets follow suit. I don't know. Wasn't Mattingly a bench coach for the Jays? Yeah, last year he was, and then he didn't get re-signed there, and he went to the Phillies. Now remember, I just mentioned his son is like a high-up executive with them. So I'm pretty blown away by this, right? These pre-May firings, I've never seen this before. This is literally crazy. Yeah, and Donnie's managed teams before, Dodgers and Marlins, and he's always been well respected. So they're not going to lose that. But this is a new voice. He hasn't been with this team long, so that's the move for now. They didn't just go straight to Cora, although it does make you think that could be around the corner. I mean, Dombrowski had just given a vote of confidence to Tomper, like, I don't know, a week ago. Then Alex gets fired, and then this happens. This is pretty crazy, man. This is pretty crazy, I have to say. Let's keep our eyes peeled on the Phillies. We'll see what they do. Managers getting fired because front offices can't do their job. Well, that's typically what happens. Shit rolls downhill, is the old saying. So that's why you have scapegoats below you. The situation with Bohm's parents is crazy too. That's got to be weighing on him. I forgot about that. Good call. Good call, Landon. Good call. Good call. JT earning that new contract on defense. Without him, they'd be cooked on defense after looking at that. Your classic HOF Nepo hire. Yeah, he's a Nepo hire. Oh, man. What happens to Cora's contract with the Red Sox if Philly signs him? Nothing. Red Sox will still pay the entirety of that. He'll be getting double paychecks. So it's not like a player where, like if a player gets released and then another team signs him, they just pick him up for the league minimum, and then that chunk comes out of what the incumbent team would be paying him. But it's different with managers. You get double paychecks. Alex could earn $7.5 million from the Red Sox this year, and then whatever the Phillies pay him if they were to hire him. So, man, this is some wild shit. The situation with Bohm's parents, if you don't know, is that he's accused them of stealing his money. So he's now sued his parents. So that's uncomfortable. It's like $3 million. Not a good scenario. You don't want that. So you never want to see that turmoil within a family. But sometimes money makes people do crazy shit. Turner, when he's hot, sparks the whole lineup. I agree. I think Trey is an electrifying player. Right on right, I felt like I could pitch to him pretty well, but he's the type of guy, like, if once he's on, the whole inning is terrifying, because now you have Harper and Schwarber coming up with the threat of speed on the bases. And if your attention's not fully on the batter, you're going to be in trouble with Harper and Schwarber. So Turner is the engine that makes them go in a lot of ways. Now the question is, was Don Mattingly a Rob Thomson hire, or did some snaky stuff happen? I mean, I'm sure he wasn't a Rob Thomson hire. I mean, they might have known each other because Thomson came from the Yankees. So there's a relationship there probably, but I don't think there's anything snaky going on. But it is sort of a weird family-related hire in a way as well. Is this happening? Yankees calling up Elmer? I hope so. I hope he gets a start so I can do a video watching on Elmer's debut. I think he's awesome. I'm excited for Elmer if that's the case. It's so different from the Mets situation. Dombrowski ran the same team back. Stearns redid the whole team. Being a fired manager is my dream job. Yeah, I get paid to go home. Not bad if you can get it. Although, I mean, I don't know. It'd suck. I would love. Imagine, like, do you think Alex been watching the Red Sox games? Do you think he can turn away? I'd be tempted to watch. You know, those guys, like, you have a relationship with a lot of those players. And one minute you're in the fight with them and the next minute you're not. So that's a weird dynamic for sure. Nats and Finns above them in the standings doesn't help when they spend a fraction. I agree. So this might have came from Middleton, you know, Phillies owner. 100 people, 15 likes. We need more likes, sirs and ladies and gentlemen, please. The Phillies seem to be a team like Cora would like to manage. I agree. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. We're going to move on now. But we'll figure it out. I don't know who. I think the Red Sox paid for that flight for all those coaches to get out of town. So anyway, please like and subscribe. And now we're going to move on to the Yankee game, which I wanted to mention. I talked about Max Fried. We'll run through his outing quickly now, and then we'll watch all of Judge's at-bats. We'll watch the Rice home run, which is an impressive freaking swing, and then we'll move on to something else after that. Maybe we'll go McLean, Dollander, a couple other things on my mind. All right, Max Fried, down in Texas, 28 sinkers, 15 curveballs, 13 fastballs, 11 sweepers, 11 cutters, 8 changeups, 3 sliders, kitchen sinker, all day long. Only 25% whiff, but the thing that I've talked about a lot on the show, I love about Max, he doesn't need it. He can find a way to win multiple different styles. He checks every single box. 61% strikes, only 38% first pitch strikes. This is like most people cannot pitch behind in the count. 38% first pitch strikes is a recipe for disaster. Like if I do that, I suck. If a lot of pitchers do that, they suck. But with Max, because he has this many pitches and he controls them all and he never panics and he always has an escape hatch. So let's see how he did it. It's the Yankees and the Rangers from Texas. We'll watch all the outs here down in Dallas, or I guess it's technically Arlington. All right, Maximus Fried. Brandon Nimmo, I miss you, Nims. Gets a first pitch of the game. Well, not first pitch of the game. First batter of the game hit where McMahon just doesn't get a clean transfer out of the glove. So a base hit there for Brandon Nimmo. 10 pitch at bat here to Josh Young results in a double play. Who do you guys think? I might want to put a poll up real quick. Let me put a poll up real quick. How do I do that? How do I put my poll up here? Engage with your audience. Start a poll. Who starts at shortstop for Yankees? And the answers are Volpe or Caballero. All right, now we got a poll in the chat, so you guys can go ahead and vote on that while I continue to do the show. All right. So that's a nice double play. And then he's going to finish the first inning with a strikeout of Corey Seager on a left-on-left sinker down in. Filthy pitch right there. That's zero vert from a guy over the top. You should not be able to throw a zero vert pitch from that high. So that's going to have incredible VAA in terms of being straight down. And that's nasty to get Corey Seager to swing over a sinker down in. Filthy. All right, that's the first inning. Second inning, 2-0 count. He's going to get Jake Berger, so a burger fried, pops it out to Rice. We got fried rice and a burger all in that at-bat. Popped out. 3-2 to Kutch. Four-seam beats him. Another pop out to Ben Rice. Nice play. And here's a hit from Higgy. Ooh, good swing going the other way on the changeup. And here's an out to Haggerty. Little curveball, little pop-up. So Ben Rice going to catch all three pop-ups in this inning. Max was ready to make the play, obviously. Third inning. Strikeout here. Left on left, Evan Carter. That's the second lefty he's punched out with a left on left sinker. Another dirty one here to Evan Carter. Swings over the top. One out there. In play outs to Duran. Man, another pop-up in the infield. It's going to be Austin Wells making the play. Sinker to Nims again. Little chopper to Jazz. And a 3-up, 3-down third inning. Fourth inning. Leadoff hit from Young.
Yeah, he will. There's no question. There's a sharp grounder.
Ooh, grounder up the middle. Max almost got his paw on that, but did it. So a leadoff hit in this inning. Now a 3-2 strikeout again of Seager. I want to watch this whole at bat because how is he getting to this count where he's dominating him with sinker? Wow, lawn dart there, ball one. Okay, so far I've only seen him throwing sinkers. Not even close. 2-0. Here's the pick attempt. Oh, and he gets him. How good is Max Fried's pickoff move? The fact that he can do the slow gather and then also control his head. Oh, that's good. But I just don't know. These lefties have such an advantage. Don't get me wrong. I know it's maybe not a balk, but that's more than 45 degrees. You can't tell me he doesn't step somewhat towards home there. Anyway, very deceptive move. This is nasty. Yeah, I mean, me personally, I'm biased because I'm a righty and I couldn't hold runners for shit and I wanted to be a lefty. But this has to be a balk. But they get away with it, you know? I love the late head move. Like right there, it looks like he's about to throw home, right? That's how he sells it so good. I mean, that's really impressive. Yeah, don't you guys think that's a balk? Balk-ish? Carl, what do you got on it? Balk or just a great move? I think his foot's going to the plate, too. I'm with you. All right, so 2-0. He gets kind of bailed out by the pickoff. Now he's 3-0. So let's see how he comes back on Seager. Four-seam at the top. Called strike on a sinker, although it's 89, so I don't know what this pitch is. Little BP sinker, and then he's going to punch him with another BP sinker. So sort of a weird at-bat there. Punches out Siegs. Then another walk here. So, like, he didn't really have his best command in this game, yet he's still going to go scoreless. When you can get free outs on the bases, and you have every pitch in your arsenal to come back from 1-0, 2-0 counts constantly, you got a pretty good shot. I have to open the garage for my for the cleaning lady in a minute. All right, curveball popped up. Yep, so gets him out front. All right, 5th inning. Sinker coming here to Higgy. Another easy pop-up. Has the Rangers' offense been bad again this year? I think a little better than last year. Or has it still been bad? 1-0 sinker here. Oh, you're an idiot trying to bunt against Max Fried. What are you thinking, Sam? All right, you're out. And then a 3-pitch strikeout to Evan Carter. This is a sweeper. Goodbye. Let's watch that whole at-bat. Cutter. Swings under that. Sweeper. Nowhere near that. And then they triple up. Then they double up on the sweeper and punches him out here.
Bottom of the 6th inning, and Duran will lead it off in that.
All right, Duran. 6th inning. Jams him, but gets a hit. So man on base in the 6th. And then here's Nimmo again, left on left sinker. That's going to be a double play, right to Caballero. Easy double play there. So Nimmo hit that ball pretty hard though, no? Yeah, 109. Hit this ball really hard. Just happens to be right at the fielder. Man, what a gift that is when you're on the mound. Then another walk to Josh Young. Close pitch. They did challenge, but it was a ball. And then he's going to get his last out here. 3-pitch strikeout of Corey Seager again. So strikes out Seager 3 times. Hard to do. Sweeper strike 1. 4-seam 96. I love how he varies the speeds on his pitches because he can do that. Remember, he struck him out with an 89 mile-an-hour sinker before. Now this one's 95. Punches him out 3 times on left sinkers. That's insane. What a pitcher Max Fried is, really. Dirty, 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 dirty. All right, let me just give a 2-second break here just to quickly open the garage for the cleaning lady, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, I also wanted to look into Judge's at-bats. Judge goes 3 for 3 with a hit by pitch. So let's watch every pitch that he had in this game. And then I want to check in on his stats at the end of this. I want to watch Rice home run as well because it's super impressive. All right, first at-bat versus Jack. 4-seam up. He's late and under that. Second pitch 4-seam.
A mountain of a human being. And he fouls.
He's late and on that and under it, and then he hits him with the 4-seam here. So tries to go up, 3 pitches in the first at-bat, and ends up smoking the big fella on the elbow pad, but he seems fine, so he's on. Second at-bat, another 4-seam coming. Another bad swing. So 4-seam's looking like it's playing up in the zone early in this matchup. Curveball off of that. Nowhere near that, my God. And he does jump ahead 0-2. All right, changeup coming here. Pulls the changeup, gets him to 1-2. Another changeup again. Now he throws a very nice kick change, but doesn't command either of those. That gets Judgy back in the count. Fastball. This time he spits on it right above the zone. Wow, great take by Judge. This sets up the homer. Look how close this is. And considering all the other pitches he's chased, that's amazing, and Higgy knows that's a ball, doesn't challenge, and then he's going to clip him on a curveball. Man, just unbelievable baseball player. Rocketed out to left. What a swing. 113 at 20. Hadn't even seen a breaking ball in the zone yet, but he's able to lay off that fastball, which allowed him to get that pitch. So a lot of times, that's why chase rate's so important. It's also like you don't give necessarily the pitcher as much information with a take as you do a foul ball. Foul ball usually tells me early, late, under, over, all those types of things. A take, depending on how hard you trigger, it can sometimes give me a little info. But the way that he spit on that fastball right before that pitch didn't give Jack a whole lot to kind of feel good about. So he doesn't try to go back to the fastball. He goes to the curveball. And that's when Judge unleashes fury on that with a line drive to left homer. Nice freaking swing, Judge. And just no one like him, man. I mean, I don't even think that he even hits this anywhere remotely to optimally. And yet, it's a 113-mile-an-hour homer. So, sick home run there. He's also going to get hits these last two at-bats.
Because now the bases are empty for Aaron Judge.
All right, this time he starts him with that cutter away, dotted, strike one. Slider off of that. Cutter to slider. You see it all day long. That one's non-competitive. Another fastball here. Good take. After Judge used his timeout in the second at-bat 0-2, his focus changed. I mean, now he's spitting on pitches. So, gets himself to 3-1. Here comes a fastball. He's under and late again, and that's middle. So they stick with the fastball, and this time he finally gets to one, huh? Now, granted, it didn't hurt that it was low. So that's the mistake there is Judgy hadn't shown any ability yet to catch up to the fastball up in this game off of Jack Leiter. But look at the mistake of the location here. I mean, granted, they're calling for it low, so a little bit of this is maybe on Higgy, but that's the location he's going to be able to hit. That's a comfortable swing for AJ. How hard he hit that? 100.3. So a second extra base hit here, home run and a double on the day, plus the hit by pitch. Very good day for the OPS. Then I believe he gets another double here. 9 pitch at bat versus Peyton Gray. Fastball strike.
Set Gray up well for a changeup here.
Changeup down.
He tries it, but it's like Higgy wants it low.
Slider. 1-2. So they had him at 2 strikes quite a bit. They just never weren't able to put him away. All right, another fastball on 1-2. They go up with it, fouls it off. Change up off of that.
Really gotten into a groove yet this year. The 1-2.
Really good take. Really good take. 2-2. So the takes have really set up his success. Actually, this is a really good demonstration of that. He doesn't like his swing on this one either. Little under it, and then you can see him physically say something like whatever that means. So that's 2-2. Then another changeup. He's just going fastball, changeup, fastball, changeup. This time he does swing at the changeup, pulls it off his own dugout. They go changeup again. Now this one's going to be a mistake, I bet. Yeah, a little bit more on the plate. Judge smokes it to left. There's another double. And yeah, the way he locked in those takes is what led to all the hits in this game. 3 extra base hits, home run, 2 doubles, and a hit by pitch. Great game for Judge. Good swing again. Another $110. Now I wanted you guys to see this swing on Ben Rice's home run. It's a first pitch fastball of Jack Leiter. This is a unicorn swing, guys. Left center. And that ballpark is not hitter friendly whatsoever. Left center into the bullpen. That's an incredible swing by Ben Rice. 107 at 23 to the oppo gap for the 2-run shot. That's what put the Yankees on top in this one early. He's got 10 home runs. Him and Judge combined have more home runs than a lot of teams. And here's the Ben Rice swing. I saw somebody compared his swing right now to young Todd Helton, and I'm seeing it a little bit. Man, what a freaking swing. This guy is so good. So there's the home run by Ben Rice. We'll watch it in slow motion here. I think he's just a good hitter who bulked up, and that translated into power for him, and now those balls travel like that. So really cool to watch him perform. And then there's also a home run by Jazz. I think it comes on a slider here. So the thing about Jazz, you got to be careful with that slow stuff down in. And he flips it out to right. So Jazz getting going now. He's got 3 home runs. Needs 47 more for his goal. But Yeah, good to see him getting going. And that's all that really hurt Leiter in this game. Was just 3 big swings. Other than that, he was pretty competitive the whole night, but that's why you need to have home run hitters on your team, because it's the simplest way to score a run. So good swing there by Mr. Jazz Chisholm Jr. First pitch slider right in his wheelhouse. And obviously he's going to do some pimping. Some pimping, because pimping ain't easy. Now let's look at Judge. Where's Judge? Is he back over 1,000 OPS yet? Yep. He's getting back to his career averages. Through 127 plate appearances in this season, he's got 11 home runs. He's only hitting 252, which is a scary thought, because he hit about 80 points higher than this last year. 252, 389 on base, 621 slug, 1,010 OPS. That's a bit below his career marks, but he's on the upswing for sure. I mean, what can I say? He's Aaron Judge. He's incredible. 25th percentile K. What was he last year? So he was swinging and missing more last year, chasing a little bit less though. But now he's also striking out a bit more. So once that normalizes just a hair, then you're going to see him right up around 1,100 OPS or higher. So it's crazy. Even when he's not perfect to open the year, he's still ridiculously good. Freaking Aaron Judge. What a ball player. All right. That's it for the Yanks. Let me get in here. Love how he never leaves the box. I love that too. And, you know, honestly, on the mound, that's pretty intimidating. I've only had a few batters that ever did that against me. Carlos Beltran was one. Adrian Beltre was another. Judge and Stanton. There's something about it, like just staying in there. You feel like you're comfortable in that box and you're not going to be able to speed me up. Like, I'm waiting for you to throw this ball over the middle. I'm comfortable. I own this plate. I feel like there's something to that. And Judge really likes to do that to the opposing team. I think that's great. When Judge eventually starts to decline, what do you think it looks like? Power stays, but OBP and BA drop. Does the power go before the other stuff? I don't think the power will ever really fall off a cliff. I think it will slowly trickle down, but no matter what, he'll still have power. I think what it looks like is swing decisions, like because his swing won't be as quick to get off. And so I think he'll chase more. He'll miss even more balls in the zone, and the strikeout rate will balloon and the walk rate will start to come down a little bit. But I think even when he's at his worst, like you see a lot of big-time sluggers late in their career, like Big Papi, for example, still were able to dominate. And I expect him to be the same, because I don't think the power will, even if it drops off a little bit, like he's already off the chart. So it drops, he'll just get onto the top of the chart. You know what I mean? It's nice to have a surplus value in something like that. Wow, love that Helton comp. Can't get enough of the swing. I mean, I didn't come up with it, but I tend to agree with it a little bit. What happened in the ninth? Did something happen in the ninth? Bednar? Single. Ground out, strikeout, error, single. Okay, so it got a little dicey here in the ninth. Let's see what happened here.
You can do it.
I got you, Dano. I mean, Dan M.
Guys on base. There's a bouncing ball up the middle.
Jake Berger up the middle. Jazz tries to make the play, but doesn't make it. So first guy on, and here's Jock Peterson. Rolls it over. Wow. The option pitch. Did they overturn that and call him out? Looks like it. So one out there. And he's going to then strike out Higgy on a split. So he did get 2 outs in this inning. Then we got a hit here for Josh Smith. Oh, it's not even a hit. Jazz just makes an error. That's a bad error in that spot, because that brings the tying run to the plate. So it's first and third, tying run at the plate. And then in-play runs here. Ooh, this one got tight. So first and second, 2 outs, winning run at the plate, tying run at first, and that brings us to Duran. Let's see how he ends the game. Curveball, huge chase, trying to end the game on one swing there. And then they're going to go splitter off of that. Really good location. You know what, though? That's just too much aggression, which we like aggression in general. But he gave Bednar a get out of jail free card with that first pitch chase that was so far out of the zone, and then he didn't have to come in the zone there, and he gets the ground out. So good job hanging in there. There was some sketchy defense and a couple weird hits or weird ways to get on base, but the Yankees hang on in that game. Is Rice done with catching? Booney says no, but at the moment, he's going to be playing first every day, but they'll try to work him in there, I think, every once in a while to keep it fresh, but they'd rather him not catch, if that makes sense. Judge is trying to pull the ball more. You can see it in his spray chart. Can you? Well, yeah, it looks like it so far. I mean, there's a couple home runs to the right side. Here's 25. Okay. Maybe he is. But, I mean, pulling the ball more, he's the one guy who doesn't have to do that as much. Maybe part of that is being maybe where he's playing. So that could be. Adrian, don't touch my head, Beltre. They say Cora declined the Phillies offer. Wow. Wow. So they had already offered it to him. Alex Cora was offered the Philadelphia Phillies managerial job before Don Mattingly, but declined. He has decided to spend time with his family. He knows that that job will be waiting for him at the end of the year if he wants it, probably, unless Donnie does amazing with it. Wow. That's amazing. I'm shocked a little bit. That's amazing. Yeah, he wants to raise his kids in Puerto Rico. He's building a house, getting married, so he has lots to keep him busy. All right, so maybe this is just such a blessing in disguise for Alex. You know, he gets a little break. He's making the $7 million in PR. You know, there's, especially if you're in PR. I mean, I think that he's not paying hardly any taxes on that, right? Now that he's down there, that's definitely what's going on. He's got to keep his residency now firmly down there. You can pay like something like 4% federal tax or even less than that. I think there's some loopholes down there. That's why those Paul brothers have houses down there. So that's got to have something to do with it. But now he's going to really clean up about that money. That's with that money. That's insane. It probably needs time to decompress also. Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised he wants a break. But I said the same thing. Like he could get whatever job he wants as soon as possible. So we'll see. I read in his contract, Cora had 4 seats right behind the dugout in Fenway. I wonder if he still has those seats. Yeah, probably not. I mean, they're still in the contract, but I mean, imagine if he just showed up and started like heckling. That would be petty, but that would be hilarious. If he did some shit like that. That would be wild. All right, what else did I have on the docket today? We already looked at Ranger. We already looked at Freed. We looked at Olivia Pichardo. All right. We need to backtrack a little bit to Dollander and McLean. Those are going to be the next two that I think we should look at. All right. Dollander and McLean. They both pitched the same day. It was the fateful Mets doubleheader sweep versus the Rockies. From Sunday. This was game 1, Nolan McLean, 91 pitches. So we'll watch Nolan first because we always watch all of his pitches. So we'll watch the whole thing. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 91 pitches for Mr. Nolan McLean. Didn't get very deep in this game. I did throw 91 pitches through 5. That's a little odd to me. So maybe there's some reasons for that. Let's see. 25 sinkers, 22 curves. I've been asking him to throw more curveball, not that he needs any advice. 20% 4-seamers, 11 sweepers, 11 changeups, 2 cutters, 42% zone rate. Did get 36% chase, 34% whiff. Threw enough first pitch strikes, so must have just had some long at-bats with some foul balls. So we're going to go Rockies Metros, 2 of my favorite organizations in the world. 2 teams near and dear to my heart. The 2 teams I threw the most games for. The Rockies and the Metros. Here he is, Nolan McLean. We're going to watch every pitch. This is your weekly McLean watch. All right, Edward Julian is the first batter. We watch every pitch of McLean every week, so that's what we got to do here. All right, 95 dotted away for the first pitch of the game. Strike. Here comes 97. Strike 2, and then curveball. See you later. So good morning, good afternoon, good night. If you haven't seen this pitch, it is vicious. And already Julian, the angry Frenchman from Quebec, is angry about this curveball. Oh, that's not a strike. Actually, sir, it's completely in the box, so go take some seat. All right, next up, is Mickey Moniak, former #1 overall pick, who seems to have found a nice home with the Rockies. 4-seam up, strike out. Is this the only reason to watch this godforsaken team? I think Holmes has been pretty good. You got to feel okay about Peralta. All right, changeup here, dirty. We've talked about how his changeup has become plus. I mean, look at the break on this thing. Yuck. All right, 1-2, changeup again. Foul tips it. Now to the curveball. See, like, me and McLean, like, have a little bit of similarities, but the difference is his lefty package, like curveball, changeup, are so much better than anything I ever had that it gives him such an outsized advantage. And most guys that have his pitch shapes, like, they struggle versus lefties, but not McLean. I do think lefty's still better than righty, but this curveball's insane. I just want to watch this again. We watch this one in slow motion because this is ridiculous. It goes up and down. 3,314 RPM. Get out of town, kid. All right, next up is Rumfield, who I've been wanting to take a look at too, a rookie for the Rock Show. Yes, that's right, Warner Wolf. You're on it. All right, another curveball coming here. What makes a guy like McLean have such high spin rate and break compared to other guys? Spin rate's a tough thing to train. You can kind of, a lot of it is natural. You can definitely up it a couple hundred RPM by training your grips, particularly your pinch grip. But the reality is he just has such a way of gripping the ball, the way his hand comes through and how long he can hold supination, that he creates a lot of friction, tangential friction onto the laces, and that creates that spin. So he has a special ability with the size of his hands, the strength in his hands, the way he grips the ball, and how well he can supinate and hold on to that ball a really long time that it creates so much friction when it comes out. That's the separator for McLean with spin rate. But a lot of that's natural. You know, not a lot you can do. Like, you can't teach a guy with low spin to be a high spin. You can teach him to be medium spin, maybe. All right, gets an out there on a sinker to Troy Johnston. Looks like the Rockies did go ahead and load up the lineup with lefties in this one. Here's Kyle Karros, son of Eric Karros. Sinker in ball, sinker in strike. Sweeper off that.
How does that affect you?
That's a take. Now another sinker.
To get it back over the corner.
Really good command of his sinker in the early going here. Now to that curveball. Pulls that. That's non-competitive. And then he's going to punch him with a fastball at 97.5. Dotted on the corner. Beautiful pitch. See you later. He's so good. All right, strikeout there. 2 outs. Here is Sullivan. First pitch fastball, swing and miss. Second pitch fastball. Ooh, and a little leg hang from McLean. You guys see the leg hang? Check out the leg hang. This is a timing mechanism.
Hesitation.
A lot of times guys do that when they double up on pitches to mess with the hitter's timing, even though they're getting the same pitch. This is a difference, you know? Curveball down, just misses. And then another 4-seam for a called strike. So 3 of the first 4 are called strikes. That might have been a sinker. Either way, it's friggin' gross. Oh, nasty. And that's it for the second inning. Third inning. Tovar almost doubles, hits it off the umpire, foul ball. Shouldn't have been standing there, Blue. 96 down in, popped foul. So 0-2 count. Let's see how he tries to get him. Fastball up, no. Change up off of that. Under that, scoops it foul. Sweeper off of that. No chase there. Not great sweeper command early. Let's see this one. Yep, once again, they don't chase. And now he does get him the chase on this one, or is this in zone? Yeah, gets him the chase. But he started this pitch a little bit more in zone, and that's why he gets the chase. That's so dirty. 20 inches to the left at 85 is no joke. Gosh, he's just so good. All right, yeah, a lot of long at-bats. This is 8 pitches as well. So here's McCarthy, Jake McCarthy. Fastball in ball, sinker coming here. That's a strike. He's had good sinker command in this game. All right, curveball. I mean, just his curveball's so freaking amazing. I can't get enough of it. Change up again. Yuck. 4-seam freeze at the bottom. Fouled away. Change up off that. Chopped foul. Curveball off that. He's always got an option for the punch. He just doesn't quite get back. And then he finally gives up his first hit here on a changeup. Just on a little dinker into no man's land. So survives that. And we're back to the bottom of the order. This is Beck, 9-hole hitter. Sinker in ball 1 as he's hunting that inning-ending double play here. Sinker again. He's like, swing at that, man. I need that double play ball. Best curveball in the game already? I say yes. I say yes. I think so. I think he's got the best breaking stuff in the game. Man, did he pick him off? Is there a balk move here? All right, let's look at the knees. No, just quick as heck. So unfair, man. I wanted a pick off in my career. I needed a free out. Come on, man. Anyway, nice pitch there. Nice job there. So 2 outs. Goes for the leg hang sweeper. Fouled away. And then 4-seam up. Swing and strike. So faces the minimum through 3. See you later. Nice pitch. All right, 4th inning. After this Honda ad. Sweeper fouled away to the Canadian. Sinker again. You hear about pitcher varying velocities for pitches for deception. Do they ever vary spin rate? No, not on purpose. Nobody varies spin rate on purpose. But sometimes you'll have variance within that, but nobody does it on purpose. It'd be really hard to do. It'd be really hard to throw a quality pitch with less spin on purpose. Or even more spin. I mean, either way, I think that'd be hard to control. All right, here's a hit. Wow, good job to go up and get that.
So there's the second hit.
Base hit there.
A leadoff single in the 4th. Mickey Moniak struck out his first.
All right, Moniak. Sinker away ball. Sweeper coming off of that. That's backed up. That's a ball. So 2-0 count here. Sinker coming now. And that's lined into the gap. So he had a little bit of trouble here in the 4th. I know he gives up a run, right? 1st and 3rd, no outs. And Rumfield. First pitch sweeper. He's definitely struggling with his sweeper command almost all year. All right, sinker here. It's up away ball. Is he going to load the bases here? Almost hits him. And then, yes, he does end up loading the bases here. So it's bases loaded, no outs in the 4th. Troy Johnston. First pitch curveball. Disgusting. Strike 1. And now he's going to put a run on the board here on this changeup. Good swing, and it's a base hit. Tyrone comes in, so they're not going to get 2. They're only going to get the 1, so it remains bases loaded, no outs. All right, first pitch, 4-seam strike here. Sinker coming off of that. Oop, almost falls off the mound completely.
Right here in this inning and overthrown.
1-1 sinker in. Perfect pitch. Wow, no call. That's a perfect pitch. That should have been a strike. No call, though. So 2-1. Now he goes to his curveball, 2-1. Good choice. Swing and miss. Curveball again.
Run is in. 2-2 to Karros.
Nope. Finger dexterity and hand mass is a natural separator for McLean to spin the ball. Hand mass. I couldn't get a wiffle ball to move like that. Yeah, it's true. Nasty. Oh, so they had a dropped glove on that pickoff. Pitcher's going to start picking up rock climbing. I use a lot of rock climbing tools to train strength, like those hang blocks. Those are very useful for pitchers. All right, so he gets the strikeout there. Now he's got Sullivan. He needs a double play or a strikeout here again. Foul ball. Curveball coming. This is why he threw so many curveballs, because he needed to. Misfires with that. Now he's going to throw another one. Another misfire, it looks like. This time he overcorrects. So 2-1. Here comes a sinker on a changeup. Poll question's 50-50.
2-2 coming to Sullivan.
Here's the curveball. He gets the tapper. He picks it, flips it home. Torrens to first. Double play. Very nice play there by McLean to get through that. I mean, he charges this ball very well. Another great thing about being a big-time, fielder out there can really help you in big moments like that. So very clutch double play onto his last inning, the 5th, and I think an unearned run comes around here, and then that's it. Sinker in, jammed foul, sweeper.
Don't know where that comes from, but he said he's had it.
A little roll over to Beatty at third. He looks much more comfortable at third.
I don't know.
Right, McCarthy, who got a bloop single his first time. Four-seam, middle, swing through. And then another four-seam here. Pops it up to Semyon, so four-seam there. We're back to Beck in the 9-hole, right? And it's a first pitch sinker. Oh, so it doesn't happen in the 5th. It happens to start off the 6th. And Bo Bichette at short makes the play. So 6th inning. Top of the order. So this is 3rd time through. Julian got a hit his last time. Struck out in the 1st. Hit in his 2nd at bat. And he immediately gets the call there. So 1-1. I just think my only critique with him in this game is sweeper command. Put him in a little bit of a bad spot at times. But other than that, I think he pitched really well again. Just had some longer at-bats. Misfired on a few put-away pitches like that curveball right there. So I don't really have much of a critique. You're going to have games like this. Does get burned here for a double, but it's just a lack of ability to put guys away at times with that first attempt or second attempt with 2 strikes, giving them a few more pitches to hit. That's what happened there. So a leadoff double. Then we got a 9-pitch at-bat here. So, yeah, pitched well, but wasn't quite as unhittable or able to finish the at-bats, I should say, as he has been in some of his other outings. Like, some of these 2-strike curveballs are just not quite where he wants them. Good job by Moniak to stay alive on that one. Now 4-seam. Still holding his velo very well, which is encouraging, too, here at pitch 85. That's 97-1. Back to the curveball again. Hammered foul. Back to the curveball again. He's going to try to go dirt with it. Misfires. A couple misfires for sure. Now goes for the front door sinker. Fouled off. And then he's going to walk him. So a really good at-bat here by Moniak. And again, he just wasn't able to steal the deal. So 1st and 2nd, no outs. And this is his last batter. It's Rumfield. Change-up ball. And then change-up, no out. And then some runs get cashed in. Oh, my God. Vientos fires it off the runner's back. You got to create the lane here. Good job by the runner, though, to be a little wide. So that's the error. God, I got to get it out on that. And then the runs got cashed after that, right? Brazabon, double play, but that's how scores the run, and then a ground out. So Braz actually did a great job, but that bit McLean a little bit there. He ends up with the earned run and 2 runs total. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 91 pitches. On the season now through 6 starts, the kid is 1-2 with a 2.55 ERA, 35 1/3, 45 strikeouts, .85 WHIP. He's doing great. He's doing fantastic. I really don't have any advice for him. I even liked his mix there a lot. Occasionally he just misfires with the spin a little bit. Control-wise, curveball pops out early, sweeper occasionally same thing. But we're humans out here. We're not robots. I know it's not that easy, especially with the amount of friction he puts through the ball. It's always possible the ball's going to pop out a little early. He's not getting as much chase as I would expect, but I think that's just a little bit that the sweeper doesn't get as much chase. And I'm a little bit surprised he's not even a higher percentage of ground balls with his pitch package, but I mean, it's hard to quibble with 94th percentile xERA, so he looks great. He's a keeper, to say the least. All right, let me hop into the chat. Giants are playing the Phillies. Do they need to do anything different with firings today? Nah, you just play the game. Just play the game. This may be a dumb question, but is dugout still something that's not for public? Yeah, still not for public. Yep, we're going to look at Murakami and Tucker, and then I'll circle back for Dollander at the end. Whenever there is a coaching change or managerial change in baseball, I've found that most teams will experience a honeymoon period afterwards. Not uncommon for play to improve in win streaks. Totally true. You see this a lot in all sports. A little bit of, you see it a lot. You see it a lot. You know, there's like a moment where there's a little burst, and then maybe you settle back into who you are. Poor guy can't get any W's, though. I will say that. All right, let's hop over to Murakami. In yesterday's game, he homered again. The man homered again. White Sox, Angels, box score. Munetaka Murakami, 2 for 4, home run, 3 RBIs. They got a 965 OPS. So it's White Sox, Angels, and the Angels just can't get a W, man. Their bullpen's in shambles. I witnessed it firsthand on Sunday. They're in a tough spot. Tough spot. All right, Munetaka Murakami, single, fly out, ground out, homer. Man, it was off Pomeranz again. Same guy who got clipped by Caglione the other day. So left on left, not pretty rare to see him getting clipped. First pitch, four-seam strike. Second pitch, curve. That's pulled away for a ball. Four-seam coming here. Not really the usual velo we're used to seeing out of Big Drew Pomeranz. 92.6. He does have that natural cut to his ball. And he jumps ahead 1-2 here. Another fastball. Murakami takes it up. That's non-competitive. Let's see what he clips him on. Fastball. Here it comes. Oh, yeah. You can't throw him a heater middle down pretty much ever. And that's a 3-run shot. Only hit it 95.8 at 48, but gets it to carry out to right. This is a awesome place to hit, if you guys don't know. Guaranteed rate field, whatever you want to call it, New Comiskey. Home runs are in play to every part of the ballpark. So Murakami with another home run. This one brought rain. This stance change has made a huge difference for him. He's been able to handle everything in the lower part of the zone, even high velo. He's doing a much better job staying back on off-speed pitches, changeups and breaking balls alike. And he's just punishing balls. I mean, it's crazy because he is such a 3 true outcome guy. But, man, he's made some adjustments. Here's a single in the game at the beginning of the game off Kashanwitz. 96, base hit. So I don't think the velo has been a problem for him or Okamoto. I know a little bit early for Oko, but it's more so just the height of the pitches. So, man, Murakami's awesome. He continues to just be so impressive. I know that there's a path to him going into a deep slump where he's not hitting homers, and so he's not being very productive, but the walk rates propped him up big time, 17.5% walks. He continues to look great. 965 OPS, 12 homers. Got more home runs than Judge through 126 plate appearances. Yes, Pete Alonso's home run record could be threatened. I don't know if it will be threatened, but it could be threatened. I think that's fair. Everything looks great. I mean, we were expecting to see the whiff and the K, but the fact that everything else, particularly the chase rate, is so good, that's what's carrying for Murakami. Now, we're going to look at Kyle Tucker now, who's been off to a slow start in his first year with the Dodgers. But he did have a good game yesterday, including a walk-off, right? So here's what we're looking at from a analytical savant stand page at the moment on Tuck. He's hitting 236, 320, 364 for only a 684 OPS. That's by far his worst performance of his career to date. But again, it's early, and it looks like according to his expected numbers rolling, he's been rolling around league average for a while. So he just needs one burst to kind of put that behind him. I mentioned how I was kind of jealous. That hitters sometimes can just have a great week and like fix their season, whereas like a pitcher like always has to be getting outs. You can have one bad game, it can ruin your season. So I don't really love that, but that's just the reality of the situation. So they're playing the Fish, so it's Dodgers and the Marlins. Marlins, Dodgers. Yamamoto on the mound. I was planned on watching Yama, but he ended up not having to watch him. All right, so this was a whole thing in the 9th inning. Phillips, Fairbanks, walk, bunt out, Shohei ground rule double. Just seeing how the comeback happened. This is 1 out in the 9th. Shohei ground rule double to get 1 run home and get the winning run on second. And then automatic walk of Freddie brings up Phillips. He strikes out Will Smith. So that set up a very pressure-filled at-bat. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 2 outs in the ninth for Kyle Tucker. So let's watch the whole at-bat. It's a first pitch split. He's super early, pulls it foul. I bet you they throw him another split. What do you guys think? Yep, another split. This time pushes it a little bit further away, stays through it better this time, lines it into center. 1 run scores, and 2 runs score, and the Dodgers win it. So back-to-back splitters. If I'm pitching, I see this first pitch split, and the foul ball tells me he's on fastball timing, right? He pulls it into his own dugout super early. So yeah, you are thinking split again, but now with count leverage in this spot, the next split, ideally, you'd like to get it out of the zone. Where's this pitch end up? In zone. So that's the mistake. Good job by Tucker immediately switching his plan and getting off the fastball and looking for the split, knowing that they're probably going to stay with that. But when you have 0-1 count, you have plenty of balls to work with. I know guys get a little gun shy to trust their catcher down in the zone, and it's another thing I hate here is the catcher's on the one knee looking to steal strikes. Your priority in this spot is blocking the ball so the pitcher can feel comfortable throwing a ball in the dirt and that you'll block it. But either way, he doesn't do it, and good job by Tucker to make the adjustment and stay through that and line up the middle for a game-winning hit. So nice adjustment by Tuck here. Head down, stays through it. Really good job. Look at that. We talked about it a lot with Ben Rice recently. Arenado. I know everybody wants to pull the ball in the air, but when guys go soft away from you, you have to be able to stay on balls. And there's Kyle Tucker. So a really nice swing there. He needed a good moment for the Dodgers. This is the first one. First big one, I guess. And we'll kind of see how he continues to progress through it. So nice job there. Nice job there. The only way to beat the Dodgers as a small team is to play perfect. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Can you explain the term count leverage? Well, I know you know, Mitch, but count leverage is just like being ahead in the count versus behind in the count. The best place to be in baseball is 2 strikes, particularly 0-2 or 1-2. You have balls to work with, meaning you can take chances throwing pitches out of the zone. And of course, if a pitcher swings at a ball, that's a good thing for, if a batter swings at a ball, it's a great thing for a pitcher. You don't do a lot of damage on pitches out of the strike zone. So count leverage, meaning you have leverage in this matchup, means you're in the advantage count. So in this situation, it's 0-1. That's a little bit of count leverage because remember, it takes 3 strikes to strike you out and 4 balls to walk you. So you have 4 balls to play with. You have really 3 balls to play with here in an 0-1 count. So you don't have to throw a strike. Therefore, in that splitter that Phillips threw, he needed to throw that ball below the zone. Worst case scenario, it's 1-1. You still have a chance to go to 1-2, but you have a chance to get a guy to swing at a bad pitch. Obviously, it's a big spot in the game. A hit beats you, so you're not in your usual throw strikes all day mode. You're in the can't give up a hit mode, and you got the beautiful 0-1. So the whole point is, make him throw a ball, make him swing at it. That pitch wasn't far enough out of the zone. Kyle Tucker gets the hit, and that's ultimately the mistake in that spot by Phillips, is just not recognizing that pitch has to be in the dirt. I understand the idea of, well, you might throw a wild pitch with a pitch in the dirt, but you got to trust your catchers. This is the major leagues. But I also think the Marlins there need to coach their catchers to have a different priority in that spot. You have to be ready to block, because anything that gets by you in the game's tied there. So to me, the framing kind of goes away in that moment, unless you're calling like fastball for a freeze somewhere and you have a pretty good expectation he's not going to ram it in the dirt. Then maybe you go for the stick. But in a split situation, you got to be ready to block. So for me, that's the fundamental play there, but they didn't do that there. You want to see Liam Hicks bomb? He hits a bomb in this game. He's been a great catcher so far he's been raking. Ooh, it's off of Yama. Let's watch the whole at bat. Liam Hicks. This guy's raked for the Fish, and this is what had given them the lead. 4-seam away strike. Splitter off that. Pushed away ball. Sinker. Interesting sinker. They're going front door sinker, and he nuts it. 1-2. So now he's got count leverage. Let's see the mistake. Obviously, the mistake's going to be the ball's in the zone. Yep. And Hicks hammers it for the 3-run homer. Same situation here. A hit is what beats you. You have count leverage. You're 1-2. Yamamoto knows this. He's the best in the world, one of the top 3 pitchers in the world, in my opinion. He knows he's got to get this pitch down. The idea, again, your 1-2 is to throw it down here. This is just a physical error. It happens. Ball comes out just a hair early, hangs it in the plate. Great job by Liam Hicks to hang the leg and be able to ride that ball out. Hammers it over the wall at 101/23 for the home run. So sweet swinging Liam Hicks. And he's been a big difference maker for the Marlins here in the early going. Let's look into Liam Hicks's statistics. Liam Hicks. Damn. A lot of red on your sheet, Mr. Hicks. 311 average, 350 OBP, 544 slug, 894 OPS through 100 plate appearances. 99th percentile whiff, 99th percentile K. So you can't get it by him. But on top of that, he's got a little thump. Interesting, very low bat speed. So it has to be all pull side in the air if he's going to hit home runs. But seems to be really good at squaring up the ball and not chasing. It's odd that he doesn't have any walks. So they must really not be worried about his power. If you usually see something like that, 78% chase rate, you don't usually see a low walk rate, but I guess the issue is that he generally just hits it in play. That's crazy. That's wild. I bet you he has one of the shortest swings in the game. Let's see. Yeah, 6.8 feet swing length. That's one of the shortest in the game. So that makes sense. Usually guys with the short swings, they square up a lot. They don't have a lot of whiff. So thanks for having me look at him. Liam Hicks. He makes the cut today. Makes the cut today. We're going to finish up probably with Dollander. Was it Ramirez behind the plate? I think it's Hicks. Pretty sure he's the worst in league at blocks behind the dish. I think it was Hicks catching. Marcy also had a nice game, got on base 4 times after him. I'm happy they didn't send him back. I'm happy they're giving him the long runway to get himself back on track. Jacob Marcy's a good player. He's just off to a tough start so far. I'll re-ask you if you don't mind. Adam, would you offer McLean an extension? Would be interested in if you were him. He'll be 25 in July, so a bit older for a rookie. Hits free agency after 2031. Yeah, I mean, I'd offer it to him if I were the Mets. I would, because I think he's that special. But if you're him, it's probably not going to be the number you want. There's no way Stearns is going to offer him like something that's going to really entice him. So I think he's going to go year to year. He's on pace to be a really expensive guy through ARB. Pitchers don't really get extended early. We saw Strider, but that's not looking good. And I can't think of too many other early extension starters recently. It's mostly position players. So, okay. Oh, Hicks was DH. Okay. Might explain why he didn't want it in the dirt completely. Yeah, it could, but you got to trust your catcher no matter who it is. And really, the Marlins coaching staff needs to do a better job, in my opinion, telling the catcher there what their priority is. So always remember your priorities, and sometimes those shift based on game situation. I'm surprised that stuff's not taught as much anymore. You play to the scoreboard and the game situation a little bit with what you care about. Anyway. But yeah, they don't usually give out the extensions to the pitchers very often. All right, back to 2 days ago. This might be a tough watch for the Mets fans, but we have to watch Chase Dollander. He is now leading the league in WAR, pitcher WAR. Obviously, it helps you get a huge boost pitching at Colorado. That's why I have almost 15 WAR in my career, mainly because of Colorado. So you got a nice boost pitching there, which is great because you're not going to get much else going your way pitching there. But anyway, Dollander, 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 7 punch-outs versus the Mets. The biggest thing for me early on in the year is the expansion of the mix, leaning more into some sinkers, which he did again in this game. 46 four-seamers, 25 sinkers, 11 sliders, 10 curveballs, 9 changeups, 4 sweepers. He is the hardest throwing starter in the game, I think. It's pretty close between him and Mizorowski. Literally 99 mile-an-hour average on his four-seam this year, which is just insane. So when you come up there, you have one thing on your mind, but you don't know which shape because the sinker is really good. It's got really good run on it. He averaged 20 inches of horizontal movement on the sinker in this game versus the Mets. So he's going to be able to get quick outs. He's also going to be able to get some strikeouts. He sets the pace so fast that helps his other pitches play, even though they're not as amazing. So I'm a big fan of Dollander. Let's watch this outing versus the Mets. And then we'll do probables after that. And I see about 20 people just jumped off because they don't want to watch the Mets get dominated. But this is something that we have to go over. All right, Chase Dollander. I've been saying it. He's one of my new favorites. All right, he's going to start the game with a first pitch out on a sinker to Bichette. Kind of blocks that off to first. One up, one down. Here comes a hit to Juan Soto, the great Juan. Laser up the middle, base hit. And then a strikeout of Alvey on a four-seamer. 98-6 up in the zone. Doors, see you later. Then here's a walk. So this was kind of a little bit of trouble early here. A lot of people been having trouble with the mound on this day, from what I could tell. I saw McLean looking back earlier. Quintana when I was watching the game live. And these are different games, but it's the same day. Also love the purple jerseys. Those were my favorite Rockies jerseys when I was there. And then he's going to get an in-play out here from MJ Melendez on a fastball above the zone. Pops it up to Tovar. All right, second inning. First out's going to come on a sinker. Actually, it's not an out, but it gets put in play here by Marcus. Up the middle for a base hit. So 1 on, no out. That brings up Carson Benj. Four-seamer to Benj. Line drive caught, and they were stealing on the pitch. Oh, no, they weren't. Oh, there was already an out here. There's an out that happens in this. What happens here? Got to watch because I have to see how they get this second out. Is it a caught stealing? Ball. Foul tip. Ball. Hold strike.
In the game.
Yeah, it's a caught stealing. Sammy gets hosed. All right, so then Benj lines out, and then he's going to punch out Ronnie Mauricio with 99 up in the zone. See you later. He's through 2. All right, to the third. 2-1 sinker to Tyrone. Ground ball, good placement by the defense. 1 out there. So he's getting some good outs right on right with the sinker. Here's a called strike 3 to Bichette. Ooh, good challenge. Drops it, but new. Wow, great freaking challenge by the catcher. Hunter Goodman here. This is incredible. How do you muff that but know it's a strike? Bichette can't even believe they're challenging. He's already going to first. Wow, great challenge. And then here's a walk, 3-0 walk. All right, pitch around Soto, don't blame you. And then he's going to get out Alvey with the fastball. Pretty good swing, but just beat a little bit. Pretty harmless fly ball to right, and we are on to the fourth. 1 pitch out to start the fourth from Beatty. Good pitch to hit. Slices off it just a touch. Pops it out to left. Here's a punch out of Melendez. I love the way his fastball plays up in the zone because this arm angle is definitely low enough where that's that VAA effect. And then, so I think he's got 2 awesome fastballs to pair together. The sinker with incredible arm side run, and then the low slot 4-seam up at 99. Dirty. All right, 2 outs and a 1 pitch out here from Semien. That's a poor AB right there. That probably helped him pitch deeper in this game. So that's a quick out. All right, 4th inning. Leadoff hit from Benj. Rounds it up the middle. Base hit. Good to see Benj getting around on a 4-seam. Especially a high velo 4-seam. That's a good sign for the Mets. Base hit there. Agree. Totally agree. All right, change up here to Ronnie. So he got in a little bit of trouble here with this single. Does Benj go first to third? No, he hangs in there at second. All right, let's watch all the pitches here, how he digs out at first and second, no outs. Tyrone. First pitch slider, strike. Second pitch sinker, I love it. Go right in with the sinker. And it's going to be a double play. Perfect pitching. Sinker away. Slider away, sinker in, weak contact. They have to stop showing Carlos every time something bad happens too. It's almost like they're turning the crowd against him. They are. SNY needs to clean that up. That's BS. See, they're still showing him. Stop showing him after every bad thing that happens. He's not pitching. All right, 1-0. Here's a fastball. How's your knuckles? Definitely not good. And he gets Bichette. Jams the crap out of Bichette. So that's it for that, and they're showing Carlos again. All right, to the 6th, strikeout of Juan Soto. Let's watch him dominate Juan on 3 pitches. Sinker here, strike. Slider here, backdoor.
No, you can be.
No, I mean.
Ooh, down in, called strike. Didn't want to challenge, but that would have been a strike. So 2 perfect pitches set up the 4-seam up, and he even upticks to 100.5. So I love that. Doors, see ya. Nice pitching there, and then he's going to punch out Alvey with a slider. That's a 3-2 chase. That's a poor chase. But you could tell the Mets were pressing hard in this game. I mean, they don't want to get swept in this series. They're feeling the pressure for sure. And then in-play outs here. Good pitch to hit. Good swing. That ball went nowhere, though, huh? 102 and doesn't even make it to the warning track? Yeah, Beatty looks confused. I'm confused. He must have top spun it or knuckleballed it. All right, to the 7th. And first out is going to be on 98.5. Still living at 98.99 here in the 7th. Melendez is underneath that. Pops it up. Is that what's going on? It's a different producer. John DeMarsico's gone, right? There's a scandal there. Here's a strikeout of Semien on a sinker. That's disgusting. He's got such a nasty sinker. And for some reason, this isn't grading well on a Stuff Plus, which really pisses me off about Stuff Plus. There's no way a 99-mile-an-hour sinker on average isn't good if it's 21 inches of run and only 5 inches of lift. Like, to me, this is gross. I don't care how you slice it. Disgusting. Freaking disgusting. And he's going to give up another hit here to Benj. All right, so some good swings by Benj. That's definitely encouraging. Some of the better swings I've seen him take in a while. I love when he shoots the other way, but he also covered a fastball. So covered a fastball and a changeup in this game off Dollander. Very nice. And then he's going to end his at-bat with this pitch to Ronnie Mauricio above the zone that he pops him up. Can of corn. Nicely done, Dollander. It's truly the uphill because he has the low slot, the 2 fastballs. He's a beast. He's a beast. I think he has a very good shot to be a true ace in this league. He's kind of Garrett Cole. He's kind of Garrett Cole with a better sinker. Maybe it's not as good of a 4-seamer, but it's a better sinker with an easy, repeatable delivery. He's going to throw a lot of strikes. I like the mix. I think, especially in these early years when he's living in the high 90s, he's got a shot to be one of the best pitchers in the game. He's off to a great start. He has to clean up a little bit his fundamentals, just a touch. I mean, I'm not asking for a lot, but a little bit more first pitch strikes. Other than that, I mean, dude, he's been awesome. I know he's only pitched 2 games at Coors, so he's probably not going to live under 3 ERA the whole year, but he's made some nice adjustments. I mean, really, really, really has. I mean, 2025, he's throwing his sinker 10% of the time. This year, he's up to 22% of the time, and he's added more pitches. So to me, that's super big. He just needs to clean up the fundamentals a touch, and he's well on his way to being one of the best young pitchers in the sport. Yep, there's that 24-degree arm angle. That is why he's able to upshoot the ball. He's got the low release height. All good things, all good things. Yeah, first pitch strikes is what he has to clean up, basically. 54% is not nearly enough as a starter. You like to be about 65% or better. So clean that up, and we are headed towards one of the best pitchers in the sport. Chase Dollander, guy's freaking awesome so far. And I just wanted to shout that out and watch that outing. All right, let me get in the chat here for a minute, and then we'll hit probables, and we'll be done for the day. Dollander's next scheduled start is against the Braves at Coors. Tough matchup, so that'll be appointment watching for sure. Some models like Dollander's sinker. Stuff Plus doesn't, probably because of the arm angle, but does like his 4-seamer. Yes, that's all arm angle related, VAA related, but you know, even if they expect some level of sink, his combination of velocity and movement is still rare. It's still rare, still hard to hit. So I don't agree with that. Is Dollander the new Verlander? I mean, they're not the same, but man, you're talking about 2 people with natural like power behind their throw. It's incredible to watch these guys. Do you think McLean should go more four seam and less sinker? No, I think sinker's his better fastball. I actually think his four seam is the one pitch that leaves him a little bit exposed, especially versus lefties. It doesn't have great shape. I think that the four seam should be used for chase and as a mixture off of the sinker, but I can't see him riding four seam to much success. I think sinker is still his best pitch, in my opinion. Rockies all the Rockies need to do is find 5 more guys who can throw 100-mile-an-hour flat VA fastballs. I mean, they just need to always do angles, whether it's HAA, VAA going down, VAA going up. Those types of things are not as affected by the atmosphere at Mile High than, you know, just pure ball flight movement guys. You're not going to have many ball flight movement outliers, so you need to lean into gyro spin in that situation. But it's the angles, it's the deception. I think, you know, I have the best course field ERA in 200 innings or more, and I really think it's not because I'm like great pitcher. I think a lot of it is because of the deception and the HAA that I had and the VAA that I had at the top. I think those two things they play there. You know, plus deception. Those 3 things, deception, HA, and VA, absolutely play there. They should be leaning into that. I texted with Matt Daniels a little bit last week. He's the new pitching guy for the Rockies, like coordinator, you know, director of pitching. I talked a little about Dollander. He's not ready to take a victory lap yet, but I was saying, you know, I like that you're leaning into the angles. I think that's very smart. Very, very smart, very, very advanced. And it also helps because then that helps you pick out pitchers because you need to have some sort of outlier quality, and it's really hard to do that from ball flight alone. So that's my theory on that. Yep, thank you. Yep, I had to go read it. It's my son's birthday. It's Archer's 3rd birthday today, so we went and read at his school today. So I had to look, you know, like a human a little bit. Do have to shave probably, but anyway. Do you feel like your conditioning was naturally better playing from the thin air? So it's not because you're not there enough. You know what I'm saying? Like you're there 1 week and then you're back to sea level and then you're back to mile high and then you're back to sea level and then you're back to mile high and then you're back to sea level. So you never really get used to it. The only time I ever got used to it was during my Tommy John rehab because I was in Denver for about 3.5, 4 months that year, maybe 5 months straight. So then, yeah, I got acclimated and then my cardio was great. I remember I went on the road trip at the end of the year to LA with the team. And I remember working out and doing my rehab stuff in LA. And like, I just was like, oh my God, like I could run a marathon right now. That's how conditioned I am. But other than that, I never felt it because again, you never get conditioned. You're sea level, mile high, sea level, mile high. Like it's tricky. It's tricky. Happy birthday, Archie. He's the best. It was his day today. All right. We are done with today's show. We're just going to do probables. I'll be back again tomorrow. And we'll get after it again tomorrow. All right. Here are the matchups for today. Rays at Guardians. Nick Martinez and Tanner Bybee. In Cleveland, Nick Martinez coming off a great start, his last start. Astros, Orioles, Kai-Wei Tang, and Shane Baz, who they've made a lot of tweaks with him. Haven't seen the results quite yet, but I think he's trending in a better direction. All right, Rockies, Reds, TBA and Chase Burns. Cardinals and Pirates, Leahy and TBA. In Pittsburgh, Giants, Phillies. From the bank, Tyler Mahle and Jesus Luzardo on the first day of the Don Mattingly era in Philly. Great young guy matchup today. This will be definitely featured tomorrow, I would imagine. It's the season debut of Trey Savage and start number 2 of the season for Peyton Tolley in the 6th tonight. Nationals, Mets. Mets desperately need to pretty much sweep this series, but at least win this series. Nationals, Mets, Zach Littell, who I believe is the worst pitcher in baseball by WAR from among the starters so far. He's going against Clay Holmes, who's been excellent to start the season for the Mets. Tigers, Braves, Casey Mize and Martin Perez in Atlanta. Mariners, Twins, Logan Gilbert and Joe Ryan from Target Field. Angels, White Sox from Chicago. Can Jose Soriano keep it going? He's had a historic start. This is start number 7 for him. He's sitting at like a 0.3 ERA. Let's see if he can keep it going against the White Sox today. Soriano versus Murakami should be interesting matchups as well. And it's Davis Martin for the Sox. Diamondbacks, Brewers, TBA, and Chad Patrick. Yankees, Rangers, love this matchup. Cam Schlittler and DeGoat. Jacob deGrom from Texas. This should be a very interesting matchup. I'm very curious to watch deGrom versus Judge tonight. Royals, A's, Bubich for the Royals, who are suddenly playing better. and they are in Sacramento to face the A's. That's TBA. Cubs, Padres, Edward Cabrera, and Walker Buehler out in San Diego. And we'll finish up tonight with Marlins, Dodgers, Jansen Junk, and Shohei. Shohei also with the very minuscule ERA, right about 0.3 or 0.4. So we'll see if he can keep it going in his very obvious pursuit for the Cy Young this year. So that's it for the show tonight. Today, thanks for hanging with me. I definitely missed you guys when I had no show yesterday, but I'm glad we got back on track today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Very excited. Soriano versus Murakami, and nothing beats Savage versus Tolley. That's going to be really cool to watch. Very curious to see how Trey Savage looks in his season debut today. The Jays kind of need him, so that's why he's back up. All right, see you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday, everybody. All right, mañana. Bye-bye.